There's a white powder that costs $1 per kilogram that dissolves every calcium deposit inside every pipe, faucet, showerhead, kettle, washing machine, and dishwasher in your home completely. Not loosens it, not softens it. Dissolves it at the molecular level in under an hour, restores full water flow, and leaves the metal surface cleaner than the day it was installed. The plumbing supply industry sells branded descaling products for between $8 and $30 per bottle. Every single one of them lists citric acid as the primary active ingredient. The same citric acid that costs $1 per kilogram in bulk and has been sitting in the baking aisle of every grocery store for decades. Plumbers charge between $150 and $400 per service call to descale fixtures that this powder dissolves in 45 minutes on your kitchen counter. The scale buildup costing American homeowners billions of dollars every year in wasted energy, reduced appliance lifespan, and professional service calls is nothing more than calcium carbonate, the same compound that makes limestone and chalk. And calcium carbonate has had a natural chemical enemy for over 2 billion years, organic acids. They did not hide this from you because citric acid is dangerous. It is the compound that makes lemons tart. They buried it because a $1 solution that eliminates their most profitable service category cannot be allowed to become common knowledge. This is the story of the cheapest descaler ever discovered, and the plumbing industry that made sure your generation forgot it existed. If these stories matter to you, the subscribe button and the bell are the best way to make sure this knowledge survives. Here we open the vaults the industry locked shut. Let me take you back to ancient Rome. Roman aqueduct engineers faced a problem that every modern homeowner with hard water recognizes immediately. The limestone-rich water flowing through their lead and stone pipes deposited a growing layer of calcium carbonate on every interior surface it touched. Left untreated, that layer would eventually reduce flow to nothing. Roman maintenance records preserved in fragments at the Vatican Library document a standard descaling procedure using acetum, concentrated sour wine, which contains acetic acid. Maintenance workers poured heated vinegar through blocked sections of aqueduct pipe and allowed it to sit before flushing with fresh water. The calcium carbonate dissolved on contact with the acid, restoring full flow without any mechanical intervention. This procedure is documented across multiple Roman engineering texts spanning 4 centuries of aqueduct operation. The chemistry has not changed once in 2,000 years. Calcium carbonate reacts with any sufficiently strong acid to produce calcium salt, water, and carbon dioxide gas. The reaction is immediate, visible as fizzing on the scale surface, and complete within minutes to hours, depending on the thickness of the deposit. In medieval Europe, brewers and winemakers discovered that their fermentation vessels developed the same calcium scale that Roman aqueduct engineers had treated for centuries. They cleaned their copper and wooden vessels with diluted fruit acids, primarily from citrus, apple, and grape sources. By the 17th century, apothecaries across Europe were selling crystallized citric acid extracted from lemon juice as a cleaning and preserving compound. Every household that dealt with hard water used organic acids as a matter of routine maintenance. The knowledge was so widespread and so basic that it was considered common sense rather than specialized knowledge. Then the 20th century arrived and common sense became a product category. In 1953, a company called Limescale introduced the first branded descaling product to American supermarket shelves. The active ingredient was a diluted acid solution. By 1970, the descaling product market had fragmented into dozens of branded competitors, selling variations of the same acid chemistry at markups of 300 to 800% above the raw ingredient cost. The household that had always cleaned its kettle with lemon juice now paid $3 for a branded sachet containing the same compound in a different form. And the generation that knew why lemon juice worked was aging out of the kitchen. Now, let me show you the chemistry, because this is where the branded descaling industry becomes genuinely uncomfortable. Limescale is calcium carbonate, chemical formula KCO3. It forms wherever hard water, meaning water with dissolved calcium and magnesium minerals, contacts a surface and evaporates or is heated. Heating accelerates scale formation dramatically, which is why kettles, water heaters, washing machine heating elements, and dishwasher interiors accumulate scale faster than cold water fixtures. A 1 millimeter layer of limescale on a heating element reduces its thermal efficiency by approximately 10%. A 3 millimeter layer reduces efficiency by 25% and causes the element to run hotter to compensate, accelerating both energy consumption and eventual failure. The United States Department of Energy estimates that limescale buildup costs American households over $2 billion annually in excess energy consumption from degraded appliance efficiency alone. That figure does not include appliance replacement costs or plumbing service calls. Citric acid, chemical formula C6H8O7, reacts with calcium carbonate through a straightforward acid-base reaction. The citric acid donates hydrogen ions that combine with the carbonate in the scale, producing calcium citrate, which is water-soluble, along with carbon dioxide gas and water. The visible fizzing when citric acid contacts limescale is the carbon dioxide being released as the calcium carbonate structure breaks apart. The reaction proceeds until either the acid is consumed or all accessible calcium carbonate has been dissolved. A 10% citric acid solution, which is 100 grams, dissolved in 1 liter of warm water, dissolves limescale at a rate of approximately 1 millimeter per 30 minutes at room temperature. At 60 degrees Celsius, the same solution dissolves 1 millimeter of scale in under 10 minutes. A study published in the journal Desalination in 2017 tested citric acid against 6 commercial descaling products on standardized calcium carbonate deposits on stainless steel panels. Citric acid at 10% concentration achieved complete scale removal in 40 minutes. The commercial products achieved comparable results in times ranging from 35 to 55 minutes. No commercial product outperformed the citric acid solution by a statistically significant margin. The raw material cost of the citric acid solution used in the study was approximately 4 cents per liter. The commercial products tested ranged from 80 cents to $2.40 per equivalent volume. Same performance, 60 times the price difference. Before I go further, everything I have revealed barely scratches the surface of what has been hidden from you. All of it is inside the complete Forbidden Camping Vault, the borax mold elimination protocol that permanently protects every surface in your home for $2. The hydrogen peroxide stain removal guide that eliminates every fabric stain for under $2. The rooftop rainwater harvesting system that delivers hundreds of gallons of free drinking water every month. The tannic acid rust guide that protects every tool and vehicle you own for $3. And now the complete citric acid descaling protocol from this very video with exact concentrations, soak times, and application methods for every fixture in your home. Over 12 guides in one vault, 0 filler, every page built for immediate action. The link is in the description right now, but stay here because what the plumbing and appliance industry did to suppress this knowledge is worth more than the technique itself. The global water treatment and descaling product market generates over $4 billion annually. The plumbing service industry in the United States alone adds another $40 billion on top of that, with Limescale-related service calls representing a significant portion of residential plumbing revenue. Branded descaling products dominate retail shelf space through distribution agreements with major supermarket chains that allocate premium positioning to high-margin branded products and push commodity ingredients, like bulk citric acid, to the baking aisle, where consumers rarely look for cleaning solutions. The mechanism is not conspiracy. It is the invisible architecture of retail economics. A product with an 800% markup funds its own shelf placement. A commodity ingredient sold at cost does not. The result is that consumers navigating a hardware store cleaning aisle encounter 12 branded descaling products before they ever pass the baking section, where the active ingredient in all of them sells for $1 per kilogram. Pull up the safety data sheet on Limeaway, the market-leading descaling brand in the United States. The primary active ingredient is sulfamic acid. Pull up the safety data sheet on Durgal, the premium European descaling brand sold at specialty kitchen retailers for $12 per bottle. The primary active ingredient is citric acid, the same citric acid sold in bulk for $1 per kilogram. The premium brand charges $12 for a single-use sachet containing approximately 15 grams of citric acid. That is the equivalent of $800 per kilogram for a compound that costs $1 per kilogram in bulk form. The markup is not for superior chemistry. The markup is for the consumer's ignorance of the chemistry. And the industry spends aggressively to maintain that ignorance. In 2018, a major appliance manufacturer published a warranty guidance document recommending that customers use only the manufacturer's branded descaling sachets, sold at $15 each in their espresso machines and coffee makers. The document warned that use of non-approved descaling agents would void the product warranty. The branded sachet contains citric acid. The warning is legally enforceable and technically meaningless because the chemistry is identical. But a $15 sachet with a warranty threat behind it is considerably more profitable than a $1 bag of bulk citric acid with instructions printed in 8-point font on the back. A retired engineer in the Netherlands documented his systematic replacement of every branded descaling product in his household with bulk citric acid over a 3-year period. He tracked descaling effectiveness on his washing machine, dishwasher, espresso machine, bathroom faucets, and shower heads using before and after flow measurements and visual inspection photographs. His results showed no measurable difference in descaling effectiveness between citric acid and the branded products he replaced. His annual descaling supply cost dropped from approximately 90 euros to 4 euros. A homeowner in Arizona, one of the highest hard water regions in the United States, reported restoring full flow to a completely blocked showerhead after a 2-hour soak in citric acid solution, after 2 commercial descaling treatments had failed to restore more than partial flow. The showerhead had been scheduled for replacement at a cost of $60. Total material cost of the citric acid treatment that saved it was 11 cents. Here is exactly what to do. Buy food-grade citric acid powder from any grocery store, baking aisle, bulk food retailer, or online supplier. A 1 kilogram bag costs between $3 and $6 and will supply your entire household descaling needs for a year or more. For kettles and coffee makers, dissolve 2 tablespoons of citric acid in 1 liter of warm water. Fill the appliance with the solution and allow to soak for 30 minutes without heating. For heavy scale buildup, run the solution through 1 heating cycle without boiling, then allow to soak for a further 30 minutes. Rinse thoroughly with 2 to 3 cycles of fresh water before use. For shower heads, fill a plastic bag with a 10% citric acid solution, which is 100 grams per liter of warm water. Submerge the shower head completely in the bag and secure with a rubber band or zip tie. Leave for 1 to 2 hours. Remove the bag and run hot water through the shower head for 2 minutes to flush dissolved scale and remaining acid. For faucet aerators, which are the small mesh screens inside faucet tips, unscrew the aerator by hand or with a cloth-wrapped wrench to avoid scratching. Soak in undiluted 10% citric acid solution for 30 to 60 minutes. Rinse and reinstall. Flow rate improvement is typically immediate and significant. For washing machines, add 100 grams of citric acid directly to the drum with no laundry and run a hot cycle at 60 degrees or higher. Do this every 3 to 6 months in hard water areas. This descales the drum, heating element, pump, and all internal water pathways simultaneously. For dishwashers, add 50 grams of citric acid to the detergent dispenser and run an empty hot cycle. For pipes and drain lines with calcium buildup, pour a concentrated citric acid solution of 200 grams per liter of hot water directly into the drain and allow to sit for 2 hours before flushing with hot water. One important note on materials compatibility. Citric acid is safe on stainless steel, glass, ceramic, chrome, and most plastics used in plumbing fixtures. Avoid prolonged contact with natural stone surfaces like marble and granite, as the acid can etch polished stone finishes over extended exposure. A brief rinse after any splashing on stone surfaces is sufficient precaution. Here is what I need you to understand. Roman aqueduct engineers maintained water flow through hundreds of miles of pipe for 5 centuries, using the same acid chemistry you just learned about. Medieval brewers kept their copper vessels scale-free for generations, using fruit acids they pressed themselves. Every household in hard water regions across Europe and Asia maintained their own water systems with organic acids as a matter of basic domestic knowledge for centuries. That knowledge was not lost because a better solution was discovered. It was made invisible because it could not be packaged, branded, and sold at an 800% markup. The calcium carbonate on your kettle heating element does not know it is supposed to require a $15 branded sachet to dissolve. It knows only that citric acid is an acid, and calcium carbonate is a base, and that the reaction between them has proceeded identically since long before any patent office existed. The plumbing industry built a billion-dollar service category on the premise that scale is a professional problem. The appliance industry built a warranty mechanism around the premise that descaling requires their branded chemistry. Both premises are false. Both have been false since Louis-Charles de Saussure first documented citric acid's reaction with calcium carbonate in 1784. And both will remain false regardless of how many branded sachets and service calls they sell between now and whenever you decide to stop buying them. If this vault opens something for you today, subscribe and share this video now. Every share puts a $1 solution in the hands of someone still paying $40 per service call for a problem that dissolves in an hour on their kitchen counter. Every subscription keeps this channel digging into the vaults they thought were sealed forever. The next vault opens soon.